Hi everyone, welcome to my channel if you're a new subscriber, and welcome back if you have been here before. So today I'm going to show you how I make an 8 by 8 inch flip lid box for my larger cards. So I have a piece of cardstock here measuring 10¼ by 10¼ of an inch, and I scored down at 1 inch on all four sides, burnishing and folding up all those score lines. I'll need another piece which measures just a teeny tiny bit bigger. It's not even an eighth of an inch bigger. It's like 1/16 of an inch bigger than a 10¼ by 10¼ of an inch of square. Just to add for a little bit of room to close the lid. Again, score down at 1 inch on all four sides. I'm burnishing and folding all those core lines in there. Working with these measurements will leave me with an 8¼ of an inch of a square inside of the box, which is enough room for my 8 by 8 inch card fit in comfortably. So I'm taking the piece that I scored first, so this is the slightly smaller piece, and I'm releasing those tabs in all four corners. I cut up along the score line, and then I cut little wedges in there just to avoid any bulking or anything sticking out. I like to add little wedge cuts into my tabs on all the boxes that I make. So I'm repeating this 4 times in all 4 corners, and then I'm going to take my quick grab liquid glue, and this is, I think, the art glitter glue that I'm using. My 2 choices are either art glitter glue or the Cosmic Shimmer acrylic glue. I love both equally. So I'm making sure that I'm attaching it nice and square to the sides. So I repeat this to all of those tabs, and it is just worth taking your time making sure that it sits nice and square. Sometimes with liquid glue it can go a bit wonky if you haven't pressed down strong enough, or depending on how slowly your glue dries. So just make sure that you take your time to make sure it is sitting nice and straight. So this is the base of the box ready, and now we're going to work on the lid. We're going to cut slightly differently on one end. 2 of those squares I will be removing completely. So 2 that sit beside each other. Make sure you don't go to the opposite corner. So 2 beside each other squares are completely removed in there, and with this I created a hinge to attach this to my box base too. And with the other squares I'm repeating exactly the same step I done earlier on, cutting it up stubs and adding a little wedge. Make sure these are burnished very well, because these will sit away from your box if you don't. This will make sense in a little minute. So once everything's burnished, I'm going to use that 1 8¼ of an inch section as my hinge. If you want to add this in the inside of the box, you can, but you might need to remove a little bit more from it. So I'm adding my glue all over that 1 by 8¼ of an inch of a hinge, and I'm going to glue this to the back of my box. And I'm using my collal glue in here because I want to make sure that it will sit nice and strong in there. So I'm taking my time to make sure that I attach it properly. I will come back with my bone folder and burnish it down. It really needs a little time to dry, especially with the collal glue. It is a slow drying glue, but I know that once it's dry, if I gave it enough time, it will dry super strong. So I love doing this. And now, while the lid is sitting on the box, this is when I'm going to glue down the tabs, adding a bit of liquid glue and adding the side of the lid of the box on top of those. Making sure I'm burnishing the glue very well, spreading it out underneath those tabs. And this is the box is really ready. All I have to do is decorate it now. So you can see on the side in here, but I'm showing you how it is sticking away. Do you see that? This is why you needed to burnish it down very well. But once I decorate the sides, that will add some weight to it, and it will ensure it will be sitting nice and straight. From the Leafy Lace paper pad collection from Chloe's Creative Cards, I've cut out 8 pieces of strips. 4 that measure 8 by 7/8 of an inch, and 4 that measure 8 by 3/4 of an inch. These papers are darker on one side and lighter on one. So I'm going to glue the narrower piece on top of the wider one, so a little bit of that purple is showing on either side, or on the top and the bottom of that strip, because they are both the same length. I chose to do this because I want those sides of the box to be really nice and strong by adding 2 layers of papers on top of them, and by using the cola glue I can ensure that this will be a really nice and strong box. So once this is done to all 4, I just glued them onto the sides, all 4 sides of the box. And I've taken an 8 by 8 inch sheet of a pattern paper out of the Fabulous Florals and Flutters paper pad from Chloe's Creative Cards, and I'm just gluing this on top again using my cola glue. And these papers I'm using because this is the ones that I used on the card that will be going inside this box. So now you can see how lovely it opens, and I'm just coming back with my bone folder again, burnishing the underneath the hinge down, because once I fold it back I don't want it to separate, and as I said, the cola glue takes a little while to dry. So this is how the card just nicely and comfortably fits inside that box. How gorgeous is this? Do let me know, do you like to make your own boxes for your cards? Like, this comes together so lovely and so quickly, and it is such a beautiful addition to your cards. And a flip lid box is not something I often do. I normally have a separate lid, but this is a lovely alternative to create some boxes or box envelopes for your cards. Do let me know if you like this idea and if you would try this. This idea for a box obviously doesn't just work for cards. This would work for some gifts. There's so much you could add into that, or you could change the measurements, and this would be such a lovely handmade gift box idea for anything that you create. So here is some close-ups just to show you what way it works. I really hope you liked today's project, and if you did, please do not forget to give me the thumbs up. I will link at the end of this video to this card. If you haven't seen that tutorial yet, please go to check that out. And if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and I will be back very soon with another video. Until then, I would love to read your comments and feedback on my projects. I really hope to see you soon. Until then, bye!